And then there were two. It is the Euro 2024 final. It is Spain versus England. I think Spain clearly comes into this game as favorites, but England have picked up form. In their last game in the semi-final against the Netherlands, I think that was an impressive performance by England. So they've hit form for me right just at the right time. But for Spain have been the most consistent team of this competition. Just the one draw technically with Germany in 90 minutes. They did beat the host nations in extra time. So Spain for me come in as clear favorites. If I'm looking at the potential lineups, I just want to go through it quickly in terms of what do I see happening, right? Based on this predicted lineups, I would say Spain is absolutely perfect. Carvajal comes back from his one-match suspension. I do not think anything else changes for Spain. Well, for England as well, I actually do think they will start with the same team that started the semi-final against the Netherlands, and that for me is Trippier at left back. That's because I think Luke Shaw is not fit to play 90 minutes, and I do not think Phil Foden or anyone, or Jude Bellingham or Harry Kane even for that matter, gets dropped. I think Southgate will go with the same team. If I look at Kyle Walker for me against Nico Williams, Kyle Walker against Nico Williams is a slaughter for me. He's going to be ripped to shreds. He's going to be ripped to shreds because Nico Williams, yes, I think the problem with Nico Williams is his decision making, his final pass. He doesn't have the best of output in terms of goals and assists, but he's going to be a threat all game. I think he's going to rip Kyle Walker to shreds. This is not the same Kyle Walker of 2 seasons ago. I think he's had a very, very poor season in the Premier League, and I don't think he's been that good in the Euros either. And I think it's probably time that he gets really exposed with a proper matchup against a tricky, pacey winger with a lot of skill who will completely be running at him all game. So if he even does try to step out, I think it's gonna be late. He'll be caught on the counter. Yes, he relies on his pace a lot. I actually think Trent should be starting over Kyle Walker right now. I do not know why Trent isn't starting, but this is the type of game where you need Kyle Walker to deal with the threat of the pace of Nico Williams. Same thing on the other side for England, whether it's a half-fit Luke Shaw or it's an out-of-position Trippier, which I think it will be. Lamar is going to have a feast. I think it's going to be a proper matchup. Trippier as well hasn't had the best of seasons. He did start well in the Premier League, but we know he faded. And I don't also think that he's been really good in these Euros. I think Lamar will be very confident in trying to, attack him and be very confident on his one-on-ones against Trippier. Luke Shaw, I think he's actually better. I think he's a better defender than Kieran Trippier. So if Luke Shaw was to start, then he was, really on his game, then I think Lamar will have a problem. I think Luke Shaw is completely capable of neutralizing Yamal at the moment. I think Trippier starts, and because of that, I think Yamal is gonna be a problem. And the way Spain move the ball about, they get each other on other players into really great positions, and they get you in like one-on-one against their own wingers. So that's gonna be very tricky for England to deal with. It's gonna be interesting to see how they deal with that. The battle of the midfield, I actually don't see no matchup. I see Rodri and Fabian Ruiz completely dominating that midfield. I think Declan Rice will be made to run around a lot. Kobe Mainoo is also the type of player that doesn't get onto the ball much, or England don't get him on the ball much, but when he does, he's very good at progressing with the ball, taking on players. He has good technical ability. So if he's starved of the ball, we will not see the best of Kobe Mainoo. But maybe that's how England will play. In the Netherlands, I think they completely dominated proceedings. I was very impressed by Gareth Southgate. Dominated the ball. Declan Rice was also a real pivotal instrument in that midfield. So they need to approach the game with the same intensity as the last one. I don't know if maybe legs are a problem, but they definitely should not give Spain the time on the ball to really do what they want. Rodri is the best in his position. He's probably the best player in the world actually, and spreading those passes and doing what he does best. So England for me need to approach this game with a lot of intensity, a lot of running, a lot of high pressing. Jude Bellingham is good for that. And yeah, for me, I just see Spain dominating the ball with Rodri and Fabian Ruiz and the movement of Dani Albo and Morata dropping in, so maybe Kane, because he drops in and starts playing false DM, he can assist in nullifying the threat that Spain has when they do have the ball in midfield. He can add a body in there simply because he's a deep lying striker. But for me, I just see Spain really dictating proceedings. with that being said as well, I think Phil Foden, we know he has more children at the Euros than goal and assists, but I think he was fabulous in the last game. That first half, he was simply brilliant, and I don't think he also get dropped. Yes, he doesn't have goal contributions, but we should remember that, for example, Iniesta won player of the tournament at the Euros with only 1 assist. So yeah, Phil Foden hasn't been playing well, but it doesn't mean that he does not have the ability to change a game. And this is the final, and if the time is now to play his best game, it is now. Like I said, he was fantastic, specifically in that first half against the Netherlands. Unlucky not to get a goal, one literally cleared off the line and one that hit the post. So I don't think he also gets dropped. Same with Harry Kane. I think they want that stability. I think he starts. I don't think Ollie Watkins comes in, but he could. I think they'll be better for it if he does go, because I think there'll be more of a threat with more pace and running in behind, hard running from Ollie Watkins. But I don't think Gareth Southgate changes much. Yeah, for me, it's going to be interesting. I do think Spain are clearly the dominant side. I have Spain to win it. I tipped Spain to win it. The score prediction is 4-0. I'm joking. And I think it's going to be an interesting game. Probably a solid 2-0, 3-0 victory for Spain, actually, in my opinion, because England always concede, and they always concede first. And I don't think Spain is the type of team to let you get back in it so easily, that the way England have been really scamming and escaping really poor performances. If England have a poor performance again, they're going to be thrashed and ripped apart. With that being said, that's my video. That's my prediction. I hope you enjoyed the final, and I'll come back with a review after the game. Bye-bye.